Hi guys, welcome back to the show. I hope everyone had a great weekend. This is Jamie Phillips Football Chats. If you're new here, please subscribe, hit the like, hit the bell, all the good stuff. It's free of charge, of course. So guys, how's everyone been today? Hope your weekend was good, like mine. You know, smashing up the Arsenal's not for everyone. Ollie losing his job, Man United getting stuffed 4-1. The top three teams in the league winning this weekend. A lot to talk about. Stevie getting his first win for Villa. It's a lot to talk about, guys. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be a good show. So, guys, hope everyone's ready. Rich, how are you, fella? Yeah, Jay, road 100 subs. Yeah, I'm not far off 100 subs now. Two out. It's going well, doing good. I can't wait to get there. Nice little celebration when we hit 100 subs. Hopefully it'll be the end of the night. And I'll do 100 subscriber stream video. Whatever you like to do, guys. Do a Q&A, general chat, have a good time. Looking forward to it. So everyone's well, guys. Everyone's doing really good. So, guys, as you see, game week 12, we had some good games this weekend. It was a good weekend of football coming back. We had some high scores this weekend in a lot of the games. So the first game I'm going to get to today is this City 3, Everton 0, Agent Rafa, and what has happened to Everton. Now, Everton are a shambles at this moment in time. An absolute shambles. They've spent a lot of money through the last few years, and they haven't got a squad. They literally haven't got a squad. Their squad is completely gone, completely dead. The injuries are absolutely killing them at the moment. Rafa hasn't got a squad to really put out there, you know, and their next game they've got no striker. I think in their next game, so Richardson's suspended. Calvert-Lewin's not obviously back yet from his injury. So yeah, Everton are in a little bit of trouble as we speak, guys. But as I say, Man City winning 3-0 in what has to be one of the most boringest games of football I've seen in a long time. And I almost fell asleep watching it. It was, you know, so boring to watch. I thought, all right, I'll give it a watch, see if Everton, you know, on their day, Everton can do someone. I thought, all right, let's watch Everton, see what they do. They did what I thought they would do, play extremely defensive, never pushed up at any time, never really challenged City. You know, the couple of times they did, they looked like they were giving them a bit of a, you know, they could give them a bit of a go, but it's too far. You know, this Everton team is they're terrible, and they're going backwards as a team. There's nothing there. You know, absolutely nothing there with this Everton team at this moment in time, and they need players. The money they spent the last few years to have hardly any squad is ridiculous, and you know, Rafa Benitez and Everton just don't seem like it works. Don't seem like it works at all. There's no chemistry there. Absolutely no chemistry there. The Everton fans, you can tell is bored of it. The football's boring. Rafa looks like he's lost his spark a little bit. I don't know if he looks like he actually wants to be at Everton. It's just it's all shambolic at Everton at the moment. It's awful, absolutely awful. Hi Sammy, how are you, fella? Are you well? Pep is perfect. Yeah, he might be, but he plays the most boringest football. as I say, Man City winning 3-0. And, part of this game was boring because of Everton. Everton didn't give them a go. We saw a couple of weeks back when Crystal Palace gave Man City a go. They went toe to toe with Man City and they hurt Man City quite badly. And it annoys me that no one goes at Man City. No one really goes for them, you know. No one really goes for them. It irritates me because Man City are there to be got at, and teams like Everton are all and that are like, oh no, I can't go at Man City. Oh my God, they might score 3 or 4 goals. They go score 3 or 4 goals anyway if you defend like clowns, just sitting back trying to play low box against them. Have a go at them. Grow some balls, for goodness sake. Crystal Palace did it. There you go, Rich. Oh, look at that, Rich. 99, 1 to go. Come on, guys, 1 to go. Cheers, Rich. Big up his team, Crystal Palace, who I really enjoy watching lately under Patrick Vieira, playing really good football. And they had the balls to play Man City at their game. They went, right, we'll go toe to toe with you. We've got good players. We'll give it a go. What's the point of sitting back? What is the point of sitting back and not doing anything for 90 minutes? Have a go. No football team is perfect. No football team is perfect. And you just got to do it. You just got to go at them. And City are a world class team. There's no doubt about it. But I don't think their squad is perfect. I don't think Chelsea's squad is better than Man City's squad this season for me. And I think you can really get at Man City, but Everton just bottled it. And it's so horrible to see and so sad to see. And at the end of the day, it was an easy win, a very easy win for Man City. But it was so boring. It was so boring. Look, Pep Guardiola's football, for me, Pep Guardiola might be the coach, the best in some people's eyes, the man. And he is an extremely world-class coach. I ain't getting no way around that. The man is great. But his style of football, for me personally, watching, is really boring. Really boring. Yeah, Rich, thank you very much. 1 to go, guys. Can we get there before the end of this show? City had Chelsea shook at the bridge. Yeah, look, City didn't aim back against Chelsea. They went through and look what happened. That's what teams have got to do. I know City have got capabilities of doing that. They did it to Liverpool in the first half and when we played them, and in the second half we woke up and had to go. And look what we did. We, should have won that game. Benitez could be the next manager, says Rich. Yeah, I've got a feeling he will be. I wouldn't be surprised. There's the owner there. He's not worried about letting players go. He's very wealthy. Although the money he has spent over the years, they didn't really spend it as much this season. I mean, Andros Townsend, I think, was a good buy for Everton. I think that was a good bit of business, but they need a lot more. They need a lot more. And when you see Delph, is it Delph? Yeah, Delph playing for Everton, and you're like, Jesus Christ! It's like he was crap 10 years ago, and he's still crap now. And how he's still playing in the Premiership, in the Premier League, I have no idea. And you think the money Everton are wasted over the years is unbelievable. Richarlison, he's not. If Richarlison's actually Brazilian, I'll be shocked. He's Cambodian or something like that. The man's terrible. Richarlison is one of the worst Brazilian forwards I have ever seen. And and I've been watching football for 30 years. I can't understand Richarlison. Was it 3 years ago now? Barcelona came in January with £100 million transfer for Richarlison, and Everton turned it down. I don't get it. Someone explain Richarlison to me, because all I see is a player who hasn't got that great of ability. He's not a very good goal scorer, but he's got a really bad temper and he hurts people. That's all I see of Richarlison. Dog shit. Rich Delph, yeah. Man, it was shit 10 years ago. It's still shit now, and he's still playing for a top Premiership team. How does that happen? How does that happen? It shouldn't. The man's cack. Um, Jamie, if you have Klopp as the best in the world, you have Pep at second at least. Yeah, look, as I say, Sammy, I think Pep's an extremely great manager, extremely great coach. Um, Obviously, his training methods must be second to none. He does improve players. There's no doubt about that. But I don't think Pep could have won the league with the squad Liverpool had when Liverpool won the league. I just don't think Pep to play the way Pep needs to play football. He needs 40 to 50 million pound players in every position. The way he wants to play, it's such an artistic way and skillful way he wants to play. You need that sort of quality in every position on the pitch. Where I think Klopp can go and Andy Robinson from Hull for 8 million and make him into one of the best left backs in the world. You know, it's them two. They're my two. They're definitely my two top. Yeah, 1 and 2. It's up to people's opinion. Obviously, I'm going to say Klopp because I think he's God to me. You know, my dad, Klopp. You know, it's just like that. Rich, who would you have after Klopp when he decides to leave? Rich. He's never leaving. He's never leaving. We're all go. We're going to make sure he never leaves. Don't know how we're going to do it as fans, but we've got to make sure that man, never leaves till he can't leave. Thinking of him leaving makes me so sad. So sad. So sad. So sad. I can't ever see a day when he leaves. But he's got 3 years left in his contract. There's talk at the moment that there's a lot of rumours swirling around that he might actually extend that contract by another 2 years because he's extremely happy in Liverpool. When I look at Jurgen Klopp, if you look at the teams he's managed in his managerial career, he managed his hometown club in Mainz, where he played his whole career as a footballer, took over as manager, got him promoted into the first division for the first ever time in their life, stayed there for a couple of years, obviously didn't have the financial backing, no way he could keep them there, got relegated, then took the job at Borussia Dortmund. Everyone remembers Borussia Dortmund winning the European Cup in 1997, I think it was. And, with Karl-Heinz Riedler getting the goal and then that Dortmund team just fell away and became, not the team they used to be and a shadow of their former selves. And Jurgen Klopp came in and won back-to-back titles with them against the almighty Bayern Munich who have all the money. But then through the years, Bayern Munich just took Borussia Dortmund's best players every single season and Klopp couldn't compete with that. Then obviously he had a bad last year where he had a depleted team and no backing. There was no financial backing. And he finished 7th with them. And, and then 7-8 months later, he's Liverpool manager and we've not looked back. Yeah, it's hard to think of anyone coming in where he goes. I just don't see him playing. I don't see him managing Bayern Munich. I just don't think he don't like the way that Bayern Munich run German football. I don't think he likes that sort of thing. He's very left wing, is Jurgen Klopp. He's very left wing. His political views are very left wing. So I don't think he would, like managing Bayern Munich. And I don't think he'd do that to Borussia Dortmund either. Italy, I don't think Italy, when we were growing up, Italy was the place to play, the place to watch. That's where all the money was. And, Italy's dead now, The Mafia has had all that money out of there, hasn't he? Berlusconi, AC Milan and all that, they've just bled that league dry. There's nothing there no more. You only go to Italy now to either die or, semi-retire. If you're a top player, you don't really go there. I can't see him managing Italy. France, he ain't going to go to France, is he? What's in France? Good wine, champagne, PSG, that's about it. The national job would be the only one. I think Klopp would love to do the German national job. So I think that's the only competition we've got. So I think he stays. But who he takes over, everyone wants Stevie, obviously, to take over. That looks like what's going to happen. Stevie's Aston Villa contract runs out the same day as Jurgen Klopp's contract at Liverpool. That can't be a coincidence. But I sort of don't want Stevie G to be Liverpool manager because I don't want to see him fail. That would just kill me. Stevie G's John Barnes is my footballing hero when I was younger. And then obviously as I got a bit older, Stevie G, and I don't want part of me don't want to see him manage Liverpool because I don't want me heartbroken if he fails. But I think he will be the Liverpool manager once Klopp leaves because it'll keep the hype train going. It'll keep the happiness around the club and the spirits high and stuff like that. So that's the answer to your question. Pep is the most backed manager in football history. I agree with that. Yeah, I mean, look, at Barcelona, Frank Rijkaard started this. Frank Rijkaard started the buildings of an amazing club when he was Barcelona manager. He had some tremendous players. He brought through Messi. He started the foundations of that club, Frank Rijkaard. And then, Pep took over and improved that. And it's arguably, you can say, Pep Guardiola at the time had the best squad of players anywhere in world football in his team. And a lot of it he didn't buy. A lot of it was made in Barcelona, and a lot of it was from Frank Rijkaard before. And then obviously he went and bought players like David Villa and stuff like that to improve the team, and Luis Suarez and stuff like that. And then he goes to Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich own German football. So if they want a player from Dortmund or RB Leipzig or anything like that, or Bayer Leverkusen, Borussia Mönchengladbach, their best players, they'll get them. Simple as that. So, and he inherited a quality squad. Don't forget the season before he went, they won the treble. He inherited a quality squad. And then at Man City, he couldn't win the league in his first season because he didn't have the right players to play the way he wants to play football from the back. So that's why the second season, he spent like 250 million on fullbacks and defenders, because then he was able to implant the way he wants these tactics on the team. And he ain't looked back, and he's back. If he needs a player, he gets it, don't he? I mean, 100 million for Jack Grealish, if he wants a player, he gets it. And, he is well backed, but you still can't take that away from him. Look at PSG. Some top managers have managed PSG, and they got some of the toppest, best talent in world football, and they can't coach them. So it does take something really special to do that, and Pep is obviously really special. Pep deserves the backing, though. He's won things. Ollie, though. Yeah, Pep does deserve the backing. You're definitely right there. There's no doubt about that. As I say, he's a world-class manager. Ollie. I'll get to that soon with the Ollie stuff. But yeah, Ollie is a League One manager. League One manager, and I'm telling you seriously now, I wouldn't be surprised if he was Salford City manager next year. Would be surprised. I don't want Gerrard after Klopp. He's only 14 managerial term. Club is between 2 and 5 years. He's got 2 decades in MLS. I'd rather get Stevie after Klopp's replacement. Yeah, I've always said that, Edward. And welcome to the stream, Edward. Hope you're doing good, mate. Yeah, I've always said that with Stevie. It's like at Man United, don't it? And at Arsenal, when legendary managers leave their clubs, the next manager is always going to fail. It's just always the way. Arsenal, it happened with Arsenal. He did it when Wenger left, and next manager fails. Ferguson left, and United haven't really got the managerial job correct yet. I mean, they employed David Moyes, who I think is a very, very good manager, but I think he's a good manager with teams like Everton and West Ham, where he gets them playing above themselves. When you go to elite managing jobs like Man United to this world, I just don't think he's good enough for that job. And then, Van Gaal. Van Gaal is a legendary manager, coach of the game. You look back in the history, Van Gaal is a great of the game, but the style he likes to play, the style he tried to put onto Man United, doesn't suit that club, that team. And it's like going to Ajax and playing 5 at the back. You wouldn't do that. You play 4-3-3 because Ajax, since you're in the womb, you learn how to play 4-3-3 if you're an Ajax player. If you're Dutch and you're in the womb, you're already learning 4-3-3. That's just, it's the Dutch way. They probably invented the formation. So you don't go to clubs and play a way that they're not used to and it's not in their DNA. And that's what he did. Then they thought, oh, we'll get Mourinho in. He can do it. And then it's like, no, Mourinho has not got it anymore. And he's not got it anymore. Done it at Tottenham, doing it at Roma. He's not got it anymore. Mourinho is a dinosaur. And, he needs to be put out of his misery. Mourinho, he really does. He just needs to go. He's never going to adapt to today's game. And his style of football will only get you so far for so long before it falls apart. And then, they get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in, who does what? He goes on a decent run because he's caretaker manager and the atmosphere's up in the club and all that. And then everyone around the world knows his shit. But they continue to keep letting him have the job. To our credit, we are, every supporter in the country that don't support Man United absolutely loved it. It's like, this is amazing. Keep him at the job for as long as you can. But now they've let him go. And then they're getting an a caretaker manager in now. So then get an interim manager to go to the end of the season and then employ a new manager next season. That's just the worst run club. Apart from Barcelona, Man United is the worst run massive elite club in the world. I'll tell you that right now. Absolute shockingly shite. Right, guys. So, yeah, City, 3-0, Everton. After all that, we'll get back to the game. City 3, Everton 0. As I said, boring game. If you can't sleep, guys, try and find this game again. If you Sky Plused it, just put it on. You'll be asleep in minutes. It was, awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah, they look really good. Sterling getting the opening goal from you've got to say, a delicious pass by Cancelo. What a player he is. What a player. He can play right back, he can play left back, he could probably play right or left midfield. He's an extremely talented footballer. And that pass, wow. What a pass. Sterling opening the scoring. Then Rodri's distance, his shot from distance, I'll say this right now. I think it was on the Coppish show earlier and they said it as well. But a goalkeeper should save that. It's down the middle. But T-Rex is in goal, his little arms, like this. I'm going to save it. This is how far I can dive. I can't reach no further. Pathetic. And then who got the third goal? It's Silva, weren't it? Bernardo Silva, the menace that is Bernardo Silva, who is a tremendous footballer, but an arsehole, an absolute arsehole of a human being, but a tremendous footballer at the same time. So City go on. They're second in the league, point above us, guys. 3 behind Chelsea. And they go on in that top 3. It's going to be close all season. So let's get to the next guys. Let's get to the next game, guys. Next game. This should be fun. Let's go for it, guys. Let's all have a laugh. So, what for United one? United get humbled. They get embarrassed. They get laughed at. It was one of the best. It was the funny. In a way, it was the most upsetting game of football I've ever seen because as soon as it flew nil at full time, I knew Ollie was getting a sack. And I was like, oh, it's the greatest thing and the worst thing I've seen at the same time. If everyone knows what I mean. Steve, how you fella? That man, how you doing, mate? Everyone, guys, don't forget to sub to Steve's channel. Does excellent stuff over there. He's live most nights. quizzes on Friday, apart from this Friday, I believe. I'm the champion at the moment. Me, Chaz from Fortress Anfield, and Rich, Eagle Eyed Football, is in the comments. Are, I think, one apiece, I think. Yeah, so go and check Steve's channel out, guys, Statman Stubbs Football channel. Go and check it out. Give him a sub. Comment in his videos. Tell him Jamie sent you. He's a great guy. Great guy. Sam, United are bad. They're not just bad. They're abysmal. Everything about Man United is bad. The playing team, the coaching, the management, the directors, the owners. As I said, apart from Barcelona, Man United is the worst run elite club in world football. And I'm not even joking when I say that. I thought AC Milan and that will run badly, but they've got nothing on Man United. They're shambolic. Absolute shambolic. But yeah, they got completely humbled, United. Look, it was 4-1. It could have been 4-0 at half. It could have been 8-1. It's not even a joke. United were shambolic. They're still playing Matic. Matic is still getting games in almost 2022 for a top-level club. Let that sink in. Matic is still getting games. We're almost in 2022 for a current elite club. How does that happen? Seriously, how does that happen? He is slower than a dog with one leg and no tail. He's useless. Absolutely useless. When he turns, he has to put indicators on and that noise, slow moving vehicle as he turns. The bloke's awful. The squad Man United have got is not as good as people think. Nowhere near. I'm gutted Ollie's no longer. Well, yeah, same here, Steve. We wanted Ollie at the wheel for as long as possible, but eventually he got pulled over for drunk driving and they had to nick him and fine him. So it comes to the end eventually. But don't drink and drive, guys. But says a lot about their options. Yeah, it certainly does. As I say, Donny was class. I will say one thing about Donny. It's quite poetic that Donny van der Beek got the last ever Man United goal under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Quite poetic, if you think about it. He didn't want him. He didn't want to play him. The man's a quality footballer. He didn't know where or what to do with him. And then he gets the last goal for Man United under the Solskjaer era. Poetic. I hope Donny van der Beek actually goes on to have a good career because he's definitely a good footballer and he's been wasted at United like a Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho, might as well even call Julian Sancho for a while. The man is wasted, absolutely wasted at Man United. But as I say, they got humbled. It could have been more than 4-1, guys. They got ripped apart. It was an embarrassing game for them. King got the opener. They missed a penalty, didn't they? Then they scored from the penalty, and then VAR said it was disallowed, and they had to retake the penalty because I think there was encroachment in the box before the penalty was taken. So they had to retake the penalty again, and but De Gea saved it again. So they had 2 penalties and a goal taken out from them within 3 minutes. Madness. But then King does open the scoring. Then Sarr gets a second. Then Pedro. And then I think Van der Beek scores. And then Dennis, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Dennis gets the 4th goal. And it could have been a lot more, guys. They were absolutely abysmal. And so you hear things now about the new manager and all that. And might as well get to that now, actually. So, Ollie, as we know, has unfortunately, guys, been sacked. So, who will the next Man United manager be, guys? Obviously, we all wanted Ollie to have a lifetime contract. Keep him there. He's doing a great job for Man United. We all loved it. We all felt good for him. But at the end of the day, the man is piss poor and should not be managing an elite club at any level. I wouldn't let him manage a corner shop. let alone a bloody elite level football club. But who will the next Man United manager be? Right, so guys, we need the next Man United manager to be someone who's not going to make them into the next title contenders. Obviously, the favourite is Pochettino, as Sammy says. The favourite is Pochettino. Personally, I think that is what's going to happen. So apparently what's going to happen is Michael Carrick is going to take over the team for the game against Villarreal and the game against Chelsea next weekend. Well, that could just be, Chelsea could be just like, whoa, yes, you know, that could be embarrassing. Brendan. Yeah, we need a manager who ain't good enough. Brendan, that's who we need. But I think it's going to be Poch. By the sounds of it, Poch wants the job. He's not happy in Paris. Apparently, him and Messi don't get on or something. They don't get on or something because they're both Argentinian and that. But apparently, they don't get on. So I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, look, Poch will probably feel he can do a job at Man United with the players they got. He might feel he can do better than where they are at the moment. But I will say one thing. I don't think this Manchester United squad is as great as everyone makes it out to be. Sometimes on paper, teams look really good and decent, but in reality, they're dog shit. So let's look at Man United's options, yeah? They got, two decent goalkeepers. Henderson's okay. And then De Gea sort of, he's a decent, he used to be the best for me, David De Gea, but, you know, he's still a very, very good goalkeeper. I can't slag him off. He's still a very good goalkeeper. But let's look at their defence. You know, Harry Maguire, we all know, is an average defender. Average to okay. You know, in some games, especially for England, he can look at this world, you know, because he plays in a back three for England, so he's more protected. When he plays against proper teams for Manchester United, he looks average. You know, he looks extremely average. He's got no pace. For some reason, Maguire thinks he's a tremendous footballer that can come out with a ball and do what he wants. And then he just gets the ball taken off him and he's got no turn of pace, so he can't get back. He turns, you can turn Maguire quite easy because he's got no turn speed. It's just an okay English defender. Because he's English, he got that British tax put on him, 80 million. Leicester were like, yeah, have him. You know, it's just, I mean, Leicester, apart from this season, I've never looked any worse. So it tells you everything. Next to him, Lindelof, awful, average, terrible defender. Not very good. Eric Bailey's okay. I don't understand why Man United fans gas him up so much. Yeah, he's the quickest defender they got, apart from Varane probably. He's the quickest defender they got, but he's so injury prone. I mean, he makes Matip look like he's never been injured in his life. But he's got so many mistakes in him all the time. He will give you a mistake every single game, Eric Bailey. And then Varane, if he stays fit, it's their only good defender. Only good defender. They've got so many problems. Then at fullback, you know, Wan-Bissaka was, you know, I think Wan-Bissaka gets a lot of love sometimes. Sometimes I watch him and think, I don't know why. You know, yes, he's a okay defender. I think it's a bit, things go a bit over the top with Wan-Bissaka, saying he's an amazing defender and his one-on-one defending out this world. Yeah, his one-on-one defending is good, but a lot of the time his placement is terrible. You know, and because he's quick, he uses his speed. He does them sliding tackles where he just gets the ball because he's got really long legs. That's because he shouldn't be doing that if he's in the correct position, because he's not an attacking right back. You know, he couldn't cross a road, let alone a ball. You know what I mean? He's not an attacking right back. So why is he out of position so much? You know, he's terrible. Edward. Wan-Bissaka apparently is the best defensive right back in the world. Oh, defensively, he's bang average. Offensively, he's a joke. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't understand it. I don't get where the rate. They paid 50 million for him. 50 million. Walker went for 50 million to Man City. I love Walker every day of the week. You know, it's awful. And then Luke Shaw had one good season last year when everyone else had COVID and no one could be asked because there was no fans. And Luke Shaw was like, oh my God, have you seen how good Luke Shaw is? He's the best left back in the world. Comes back to this season when, you know, obviously COVID's still here, but the fans are back in and, you know, the players are back and everyone's happier. Football's back properly. You know, everyone's excited again. And Luke Shaw looks bang average again. Bang average. They're just not stocked with the class people would say. And then in midfield, where they probably are stocked up quite well, you got Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba. Right? There's always this argument between the two. Paul Pogba, for me, is an overall better midfielder than Bruno Fernandes. He's more box to box. He's got great passing ability. But the problem is, both Pogba and Bruno Fernandes can't defend. They just cannot defend. And when you can't defend, you've got big issues, massive issues in your team. Like Paul Pogba sometimes plays defensive midfield, and he's lost there, absolutely lost in the defensive midfield position because he takes too long on the ball. Pogba does like to have the ball at his feet a bit too long sometimes, and when he plays defensive midfield, he has the ball at his feet. He gets the ball taken off him far too many times, and he doesn't really know where he is positionally on the pitch because you're trying to get Bruno Fernandes into the team as well. It's what I'm trying to say about squads. Sometimes you're just buying players for the sake of buying players, and you don't know how to fit them into a team. And I don't think Bruno Fernandes is a midfielder personally. I think he's more of a number 10. No, that Bergkamp sort of role. That's where I think Bruno Fernandes would play. Like if you were playing on a 4-4-1-1, Fernandes would play behind the main striker sort of thing. You'd have the two midfielders behind him. You know, I think that's where Fernandes' best position is. And then you try and shoehorn Cristiano Ronaldo into this team. You know, Cristina's like 87 years old now, and he's got no legs, and he doesn't press the ball from the front. So what happens is with Ronaldo in the team, he's going to go missing a lot of the match. You're going to play with 10 men because he's not going to do that work off the ball. You know, he's 36. He wants to stay in and around the box to get the goals. He doesn't want to run around. Personally, I don't blame him either. So, and Man United haven't got the players in their team to let Ronaldo do that. That's why if Ronaldo went to Man City, he would have worked better at Man City because Man City, all their players keep the ball, do all the running around, and Ronaldo just have finished it off every game. You know, that's why it don't work at Man United. And then they've got Cavani up front, who was their best striker last year, and now he don't get a game because Ronaldo's here. But they're both in their mid-30s. Ronaldo's near 40 and he is 30. They're all going to leave either next season or the season after. Then you've got to replace two strikers. You know, Rashford is a very, very good player. I really like Marcus Rashford as a human being, what he does for the kids and all that in the schools. Brilliant man. But as a footballer, a bit overhyped. Their best player for me is Greenwood. Greenwood's a phenomenal footballer. Absolutely phenomenal footballer. How he doesn't play number 9 for Man United every week, I don't know. I'd have Greenwood the number 9 and have wingers playing with him and have Fernandes behind Greenwood and then two proper holding midfielders, like a Pogba in a number 8 role and then a proper holding midfielder next to him. Then Man United have got a good squad. Then they're a worry to everybody else. But it's going to take them a while to get that. And I don't think they are. It's going to take them a while. And with Poch That's why I think they're looking at Poch, because what he did with Spurs is a little similar. The way Spurs had players they had at the time to what Man United have got now. They're a little similar in that way, and I think Poch will get the best out of some of these players and get them moving. So I can understand why they're looking at Poch. Personally, I think it happened. Personally, I think Carrick would do the next 2 games, or if he does really good in the next 2 games and somehow wins both of them, you can see him just keeping Carrick till the end of the season, write this season off, and then get Poch in. Personally, I wouldn't be surprised if Poch came in now in the next couple of weeks. They sorted something out, and then Zidane goes to PSG. Just looks like that's what's going to happen. Zidane is perfect just to go to PSG. You know, bring a Parisian back, go to PSG. He's got, you know, Messi working under Zidane. It's going to be, I could just see that happening. I can just see that happening. Edward says AWB is basically a carbon copy of Klein, except Klein was slightly better. Yeah, I agree. Klein was a good right back. I think them injuries, why he had them injuries and was out, a young lad called Trent came into the team, and well, the rest is history, isn't it? All the rest is history. But yeah, so Ollie's sacked, guys. It's bad news for all of us. He's no longer at the wheel. They're going to have to find a new driver, whoever that driver will be. Yeah, it's looking like Poch and then Zidane to PSG. That it just looks like that's a perfect fit and makes the most sense. But I'm still not worried if Poch becomes Man United manager in some ways. I would have preferred Brendan Rodgers go to Man United because he would just fuck it up. I think Poch will bring some stability back to Man United. I really do. And it might get Man United 4th this season because that 4th spot is opened up to a lot of clubs. A lot of clubs. So, guys, Chelsea, they don't go away, do they? Now, I thought, if you watched my prediction show, most you did, that this might be a tough game for Chelsea coming back after an international break and then still not having some of their players back fit and playing at 12:30 at Leicester, against Leicester. I thought this could be a real tricky game for Chelsea. But no, I hate saying this. I really do hate saying this. But Chelsea are a very, very good football team. They're exceptionally good at the moment. They get goals all around their team. All around their team. They are quite wasteful in front of goal sometimes. Hopefully that comes back to bite them one day. But they're a very good team. And in Tuchel, they got a very good tactician. Tuchel is like Tuchel's like a chess player, ain't he? He's like a chess master. You know, he's very good tactically in game, out of game. He's very good with his tactics like that. He knows when to move the next piece, you know, and put you in problems. And that's what he's doing at the moment. He plays 3 at the back, you know, 2 wing backs in Chilwell and Reece, 2 defensive midfielders in Conte and Jorginho. Then he plays a more number 8 in midfield that can attack and get into the box. Then he plays his wingers and he's one up top. The system he's playing at the moment is extremely good, and you know, you can't knock Chelsea at the moment. I want them to go away because I can't stand Chelsea. I really can't. You know, Man United, then Chelsea. I can't just stand them. But they just won't go away. They just will not go away. And you've got to give their props. I mean, they destroyed Leicester. It should have been more than 3. Sammy, tactical Tuchel, dumb John Rodgers. Cav, how are you, Cav? Hope you're well, mate. Thanks for popping in. How you doing, fella? Evening, Jamie. We prefer Brendan to go United, so Poch would remain an option for us following Klopp's reign. Oh, Poch. You know, I could see that. He's a good man. I like Poch. I don't understand the beef he gets. Yes, he never won anything at Spurs, but no one does because they're Spurs. It's Spursy for a reason, you know. But he got them to a Champions League final, then got sacked. You know, it's give Poch money and he'll do something. Look, managing at PSG, I wouldn't want any manager to go to PSG because it's not just the players at PSG, it's the entourages. It's the men behind the players who just don't leave you alone. It must be impossible to manage PSG. Absolutely impossible. Edward, very hard to beat, but they aren't unstoppable as people think. Still think City are the team to beat in the league. Yeah, I still think City are the team to beat. I mean, but Chelsea, it's just, I'll get to it in one sec. Hang on. OJ Irving, Rogers is fine. Rogers is fine. Hi, OJ. How are you? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream, my fella. Hope you're doing good. You enjoying the show? I think this might be your first time here. I'm not sure. I might have been in before. But welcome anyway. Welcome. Like, if you're liking this, give it a like. Sub if you like it. We do some fun shows over here. Gets a bit lively. Have a bit of fun. Bit of a laugh. Sometimes I know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Hope you're well. Cav, hate to say it, but Chelsea are showing signs of title winning team. They are. But Leicester are dog shit. Leicester, I mean, their injuries obviously has come back to haunt them a little bit. They haven't got the biggest squad. So some of the injuries they're getting are hurting them. I mean, is it Fofana at Leicester? Is it Fofana? I think it's Fofana, isn't it? Leicester, losing him before the beginning of the season was really bad because he was exceptional last season, exceptional. And I think that really hurt them bad. And, you know, Vardy's, you know, he's 34 and he's 35, still got it a little bit, but he's not, they need someone else. Iniacho is too much of a purple patch player. So Iniacho will come in and for maybe 8 or 10 games he'll look decent, then he'll just disappear. Yeah, Leicester need some firepower. They bought the guy, didn't they, from Salzburg, who we was looking at, and you know, he's done well in Europe so far, but he hasn't really hit the ground running in the league. You know, but Leicester were terrible on Saturday. I'm watching it, and that Canate goal, when he gets it on the halfway line, he basically runs 25 yards without a Leicester player anywhere near him. They just back off. They give him like 10 yards for Kante to run, yeah. Because Kante's shit. So let's give him 10 yards. He's a world-class midfielder. What are you doing? You know, but I have seen you can get at Chelsea. You just got to be brave. You've got to be really, really brave because they are an exceptional team, very well drilled. Defensively, they're exceptional. So you just got to be really, really, really brave against Chelsea. And if you're brave and can have a go, I think you can get something out of it. I really do. And look, we're coming up to the busiest time of the year in football in our country. You know, Christmas time is the busiest time of the year. And, you know, if you drop points around Christmas, it can sometimes lose you the league. But this Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea fight for the title is going to be extremely tight. I don't think there's going to be many points in it. It could just be the 4 points it is now between us and Chelsea. I don't think it's going to be that big of a point difference between first and third. I think it's going to be extremely tight. It might come down to the games that they face each other in. So at the moment, we've drew to City, we've drew to Chelsea. City have beat Chelsea. So it's going to come down to them games. It's going to be so interesting. So interesting. But yeah, Chelsea are just, you know, they're rolling over teams at the moment. And Rudiger, you know, popping up the goals. And then, as I say, Kante with that, you know, Leicester let him have 20 yards with no one near him, like just letting him have a shot. Mad. And then Pulisic getting a goal later on in the game. And they've got so many options off the bench. You know, he can put anyone in and they're phenomenal. Thiago Silva looks phenomenal. Reece James looks great. Chilwell looks great. I mean, Chilwell, Reece James have got like 7 goals between them as wing backs. I believe there was a stat the other day that Chelsea have 13 of Chelsea's goals this season have come from defenders. So, you know, their attackers aren't hitting the highs you'd think they should. You know, you got Shy Havertz. You know, he doesn't want to be part of anything. You know, quality player, but overhyped in Germany, totally. Werner, born offside. You know, Alex Ferguson used to say Felipe Inzaghi was born offside. I think we've got a new one in Werner. Jesus. Cav needs someone to get under Tuchel's skin and he'll implode. Yeah. You just need a rival. Everyone needs a rival, and I want to see Chelsea fall behind in the game and see how they react. That's what I want to see. I want to see how Chelsea react when they fall behind, because they don't really fall behind. As soon as Chelsea score, you basically know it's game over because they're so good defensively. I mean, they defend with a back 5 and 2 holders in front of them. That's 7 players who don't move out of position. So to get through that is extremely difficult. So I'd love to see how they would react going a goal behind, you know, because they'd have to come out a little bit more. And if they come out a little bit more, they could be acceptable to other goals. So, yeah, I'd like to see them. But at the moment, Chelsea, City and Liverpool, just the top 3 teams in this league, ain't they, by quite a way. Sammy, I don't rate Chelsea's attackers. They never seem to score. No. You know, Lukaku, obviously he's been injured for a few weeks now. So, but before that, he started the season well and then he went really quiet, didn't he? Really quiet. And, you know, Lukaku, he's still got them problems. You know, his first touch is still a pass. He's not as quick as I used to thought he was. You know, sometimes he looks like he's running through mud a bit. But he's still a lethal finisher. But against the big teams, he just disappears. Against big teams, he just vanishes. Just vanishes. But yeah, Chelsea, it's hard to knock them at the moment. As much as I'd love to, it's hard to knock them at the moment, guys. Who's favourites to win this league? And guys, let's have a quick talk about this. Who are favourites to win this league? Let me know in the comments, guys, who you think will win this league. Personally, obviously, I'd hope Liverpool win the league. I've got a feeling Man City are going to retain the title. As much as I hate to say that, because I've just got this feeling they might retain the title. I think it'd be very close, though. As I said, I don't think there's going to be anything in it. It could be a point between first, second, and 3 points between first, second, and third. It's going to be very close. But I do think City will retain it. I think Chelsea might come unstuck as the season goes on. Look, we are only in game week 12, so let's not get too carried away at this moment in time. But I think Chelsea will come unstuck at some time. You know, they have dropped points. Obviously, lost to City. They drew against Burnley. You know, so they can be got at. But the way they play and their attackers not scoring goals, they're relying on a lot of their defenders to get goals at the moment in the midfield. You know, they will come unstuck at some time. Man City and Liverpool have just got to be there when they do come unstuck to take advantage of it. And if that happens, it's going to be so close. But yeah, I do think City. Yeah, Sammy City. Edward City. I think we have a better chance. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that in a sec. Yeah, it's going to be so close. I'm going City, Chelsea, Liverpool, maybe. But us finishing third, the same as last season, doesn't mean we ain't improved. I think we're improving our points tally from last season by quite a way. but I also don't think we'd be far away from the team that wins the league. We might only be 2 points, 3 points. It's hardly going to be anything. Hardly anything, guys. I think it's going to be very close. And then I think fourth place down, I'm going to be miles behind when it comes to the end of the season. When you look at the points gap between third and fourth by the end of the season, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 10 to 15 points. So I just think this top three, now they're getting in their groove a bit. I know we come unstuck against West Ham and we had a poor result against Brighton. But I think this top three are going to get moving and moving and moving and moving. And I'm not as concerned. I know a lot of Liverpool fans are really concerned about the African Cup of Nations in January. I'm not that concerned. Obviously, we're not going to buy anyone in January, so let's not worry about that. We're not going to buy anybody in January. So I'm not worried about that. But I think Bobby will be back. Bobby, Origi and Jota, I do think will get us past games. And it all depends when Salah and Mane go. If they can work it out that they go on the 28th of December and not Boxing Day, then their last game will be against Chelsea, and then they'll go to the African Cup of Nations straight after that game, sort of thing. If that's the case, then I think we play Burnley, Crystal Palace, 2 FA Cup games, another league game, and a winter break. So, and then we've got a 2-week winter break. In that time, I think Jota, Bobby, and Origi, and Minamino, in fact, can be enough just to do that 4 or 5 week period where we ain't got Mane and Salah to just keep us going. Obviously, if it was like, 3 months, obviously I'd be like, well, we're in trouble. But for that 4 to 5 weeks, I really do think Origi, Jota, Bobby, and Minamino could do a little job. And, Harvey Elliott might be back in the new year. If we can get all the midfielders and defenders fit, as long as their injuries ain't too bad by then, injuries are not too bad. We're all right injury-wise. I think we'll be all right. I'm not too concerned. I'm not too concerned. Cav, City to win it. I don't think AFCON is being worried about enough. Seriously, some seriously tough games with our forwards. I didn't see that before I commented, Cav. Hopefully they don't miss the Chelsea game. Yeah, see, that's the only. I mean, if they did miss the Chelsea game, so would Mendy at Chelsea, and I think Mendy missing at Chelsea would be a big problem for Chelsea. So I know Chelsea and Liverpool have wrote to AFCON and FIFA and all that to say, can we just hold off after that game and then they go, because they don't need to go 2 weeks before. We're in the middle of a season, for goodness sake. It's ridiculous. But you guys hear me? Sorry about that. My microphone went off. Can you guys hear me now? Put a thumbs up if you can hear me, guys, in the comments. Let me know if you can hear me, guys. I don't know what happened there. Can you hear me? Put a thumbs up in the comments if you can hear me, guys. Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. Oh, awesome. Cool. I don't know what happened there. The Bluetooth on my earphones just decided to turn off and then turn back on. Useless damn things. But yeah, cheers, Cav. Cheers, Edward. But yeah, if it is just Burnley, Palace, the 2 FA Cup games, I can't remember the other league game is against, and then the 2-week winter break, I think we'll be I think we can get by that. I really do. I don't think it'd be too bad. So I say, I think Jota. I mean, Jota and Bobby and Origi are good players. And if Origi, it could be Origi's chance. You know, Origi playing the number 9, going through the middle. Jota playing the Mane role, or no, sorry, probably Origi on the Mane role, Jota on the Salah role, and Bobby through the middle. You know, it's not terrible for certain games. You know, the FA Cup games, Salah and Mane wouldn't have played anyway. You know, Burnley and Palace, you should be all right. You should be all right with them 3. You know, Minamino off the bench. I'm not too worried. Let's not get too concerned by that. That's the only thing I will say, though. It's the only. If there weren't an African Cup of Nations this year, I would say we could possibly win the league. But that's the only reason I'm saying we won't. I've got a feeling we could have. We got Leicester in the quarter final of the League Cup coming up. Oh, there you go. Cav's got it. It's Brentford, Palace, Leicester. Oh, we'll be fine. If we can't get, say, 7 points out of 9 with Jota, Bobby, and Origi and Minamino, you know, I think we can. I think we can. I think we can. Yeah, we're not going to be as potent going forward because you're losing that explosiveness of Salah and Mane. But you can't tell me that Jota, Bobby, and Origi can't score goals against them 3 clubs. So I think we'll be all right. If it's just them 3 clubs we play, and 2 FA Cup games, I think it is, or 1 FA Cup game that Mane and Salah wouldn't have played in anyway. You know, and then we've got a 2-week winter break, and then the boys come back. I think we'll be fine. And obviously, we've got Leicester in the League Cup quarter final coming up. So I think we'll go quite strong for that game when that comes up. And we've got a possibility of winning the League Cup because Man City have gone out. You know, Man City are out. Man United are out. We've got a possibility of winning that cup. Really have. So we beat Leicester. And then we've got Champions League, obviously. That's Edward. Elliot might be back 10-2, yeah. I don't think Elliot's far away. There are some rumours he's about 6 weeks. There's some rumours he's about 6 to 8 weeks, which will be about then. About January, yeah. 6 to 8 weeks is the rumours. So where are we? Almost the end of November, 22nd November. You know, 6 to 8 weeks is in January. 8 weeks, January, yeah. So he might be back. Obviously, we don't want to rush him. You know, don't want to put him in if he's not ready. But, you know, Jurgen Klopp absolutely loves him to bits. Jurgen Klopp obviously wanted Elliot to play because Elliot started the season and he played every game until he got injured. So I can't see why Elliot wouldn't play this game. Wouldn't come back into the team, in the new year if he's available. Right, guys, let's talk because I think was it Edward brought it up. Edward brought it up, I think. Edward brought it up. So he says City to win the league, but he thinks we've got a better chance to win the Champions League. Now, I've been thinking. I've got this feeling we're going to win one or the other, and I've put a bet on for us to win the Champions League. Beginning of the season, I put a bet on us, put 20 quid on for us to win the Champions League. And my whole reason is because of fans at Anfield. Can you guys hear me? Because I'm getting no feedback in my. Oh, there you go. It's all right. I've got feedback now. Yeah, I've got a feeling we could win Champions League because of the fans back at Anfield. It makes such a difference. I don't see us losing games cool, Edward. Thank you, fella. I don't see us losing games in Europe at Anfield. I really don't. And when I look, and with no away goals anymore, Obviously, there's no away goals in Europe anymore, and I think that's going to make for a better competition. Because sometimes all away goals, say you drew 1-1 in the first leg, the team with the away goal will go to the second leg, basically defending that one goal, and you can get sometimes quite dull games because of the away goal rule. But now with no away goal, teams will have to attack more. And because teams have to attack more, that will suit Liverpool down to the ground, completely suit them down to the ground. And, you know, say you're 2-1 up against, I don't know, PSG. You're 2-1 up at PSG. There's no way they're coming back to do anything at Anfield. I'm telling you. I think the away rule goal going makes it a more exciting prospect. You're going to see more attacking football. Cav, I agree, Jamie. The players look like monsters at Anfield on the European night, just unstoppable. They do. I mean, Atletico Madrid, we all forget they're the champions of Spain, you know, and it ain't a fluke they won the Spanish League. They were the top team in Spain last season. And, you know, was it 2 seasons before that? They won the league as well. They got to a Champions League final themselves not long ago. They're a top draw team, exceptional team. And we just beat them at Anfield, just played them off the park, just beat them up. And I just don't see teams, I just don't see anyone coming to Anfield and doing anything against us. I really don't, especially not over 2 legs. If we look at the people that are favourites for this Champions League, for me, I think there's only 4 teams. That can win this Champions League, and that's Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Chelsea, and Man City. I think they're the only 4. I would say PSG, but PSG are so up and down in Europe. I mean, they got to a final, obviously, and 2 seasons ago, but you know they just bottled it. I just don't know with PSG. I know they've got exceptional players, but I don't think PSG are a team. I think they're a team of individuals, and they don't play as a team. And because the French football is so poor, they're not used to competition. So when they play a good team, the competition. I mean, Man City have got them. Is it tomorrow? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Man City wiped the floor with them. Really wouldn't. But then again, I wouldn't be surprised if PSG would won. But yeah, you can put PSG in there, maybe Real Madrid, but I don't fear Real Madrid. I mean, sorry, Sammy, but yeah, I don't fear Real Madrid. I know Vinicius Junior is on the best scoring run of his career. Obviously, Benzema, now Ronaldo ain't there anymore. He can be the main man, and he's playing really well. You know, they've got a good team, but if I played Real Madrid tomorrow, I know last season we got Real Madrid and we went to Madrid and we were terrible. And then at Anfield, we should have won 5-0. We should have buried them. And obviously that was when we had no fans. So I don't fear Real Madrid, but Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, Bayern Munich, PSG, Real Madrid. It's gotta be one of them. Got to hit the hay, Jamie, but we'll catch up in the morning. Keep up the good work, pal. You know, Walker. And you too, Cav. Have a good one, mate. Thanks for coming in, as always, Cav. Always welcome, mate. Once I'll do the 100 subscribers special. I'll be doing like phone-ins. We all can call in. You can ask Q&A question. We'll have a laugh. So look out for that, Cav. Yeah. Thanks for coming in, fella. So, guys, yeah. So, I think Liverpool can win it. I really do. And look, we had apparently the group of death. You know, the group of death we had, guys, and we put that to bed. 4 wins out of 4. We got Porto coming up on Wednesday. I know people think that Klopp's going to play a weakened team. He's not. I'll be very surprised if he does. I think they'll go full strength against Porto. The one thing the one thing Klopp is, he takes competitions that he believes are serious and proper competitions really seriously. Like, no one really takes the FA Cup and League Cup serious till you get to the quarter-final stage. Once you get to the quarter-final stage, that's when every team takes them two competitions seriously. But the Champions League is such a prestigious competition. We're at Anfield, full crowd. I know we're already through. But at the same time, I don't think Klopp wants to put out a team out there that lets Liverpool down and we lose, you know, in front of the Anfield faithful. So I wouldn't be surprised on Wednesday night. Klopp plays quite a strong team. I mean, Tyler Morton was on the bench. I know we had injuries, but Tyler Morton was on the bench, came on, didn't look out of place against Arsenal. No, it went for a lot. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tyler Morton is on the bench or even maybe starts against Porto. I don't think there'll be many players like that playing against Porto. I do think Salah's will play, Jota will play, Mane will play. He might play Origi. He might not play one of the front three. He might play Origi, or he might play Minamino instead of one of the front three. But Ali will play in goal, I would expect. Canate might play instead of Matip. I don't think there'll be many changes. That Nico instead of Trent, maybe. But I don't think there'll be many. Edward just got to lose to Porto to miss out a chance of qualifying. Jeez. Yeah, Atletico are shit asses, ain't they? Can't stand Atletico Madrid. They're just dogs, absolute dogs. But Porto are terrible travellers, though, ain't they? They're awful travellers. They don't travel very well, do they? And you know, their away record in Europe is not great. So I don't think any team we put out, we should lose to Porto. So yeah, I don't know about that one. Bayern is Sammy's favourites. Yeah, Bayern are a weird team, ain't they? Didn't they get beaten the other day by Augsburg or something like that, 2-1? And they obviously lost to Mönchengladbach, didn't they? They're a weird team, Bayern. I read somewhere today that, is it Karl-Heinz Rummenigge? He said that losing David Alaba has hit Bayern Munich quite hard because they haven't got that defensive midfield rock in their team at the moment. And that's been hard to replace. I don't know how true that is. I don't watch Bayern Munich, obviously. But, yes, I wouldn't, Bayern, what I've seen, the results and all that, they're a bit of a mixed bag, aren't they? A bit of a mixed bag at the moment. But you can't, their European pedigree is superb. You can never doubt them in Europe. All right, guys. I'm getting tired. It's getting late. Thanks for coming in, guys. You've all been great. Love you all, guys. All your comments. You all give me great comments, guys, and thank you all for subscribing. It means the world to me. Every single one of you mean the world to me. I really do mean that, guys. Love you all. Look out for me on Twitter, JBLFC39. Look out for me on Twitter, guys. I'll tell you when I'm going live. Make sure, okay, guys, you hit the bell. If you hit the bell, subscribe and hit the bell, then you'll know when I go live. It'll come up. But I will do a quick match preview to the Porto game tomorrow. I don't know if I'll do it live or just a pre-recorded one, and then I might do just a pre-recorded one. I'm not sure yet. Depends how much time I've got tomorrow to do a Porto preview, and then I'll be back Wednesday night for the match reaction from the Liverpool Porto game, guys. So look out for me then. And as soon as I've hit 100 subscribers, I will do a special. I am anything so. Okay, first. Sorry, I didn't mean to put that up the screen. If you do want me to put that up on the screen, I apologise for that. Yeah. So let me just write that down, fella. But yes, thanks all of you guys. You've been amazing as always, guys. Again, I say I love you all. You're a great community. There's great Liverpool content everywhere. You know, Dave's LFC chat, Steve's at Statman Stubbs, you know, Coppish, obviously, myself, Doug. There's loads of us around here, guys, and thanks you choosing me to stick around and watch for over an hour on a Monday night. Really appreciate it, guys. Really do. Thank you very much. So, guys, I will see you again